You got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, and you're telling me 0 completions in the second? I don't give a shit if you're winning by 50. I don't care if you're winning by 50. 0 completions in the second half? Again, that was my only problem with the game today. We got a lot to talk about here on After Hours on the Postgame show. All right, we got people crying in the chat. We got some of my favorite people in the chat who are crying. We got people mad at me. We got people mad at Cilio. Hey, let's talk about it all right now. I do want to say on all the super chats, Hale, I saw your messages. Hale, very simply, this is the problem. I got 40 supers, and I only have 90 minutes with John and Dan. And let me tell you, that's an expensive 90 minutes for me. So I got to make sure I get the content. Unfortunately, sometimes I can't get to every single super chat, but I will always promise to get to all super chats after they leave. I know you guys want them to hear them all, but at the end of the day, no disrespect, Hale, but the $5 super chat doesn't cover the whole bill, which is okay. But I'll read it on my time. I can't always do it yet on when they're both on here. Again, I only got 90 minutes. So appreciate everybody for being here, man. Great show so far today. And the good news is the Eagles are 4-0. You know, today on the show, and I don't feel like I'm crazy. Some of you guys acting like I'm crazy. I don't feel like I'm crazy, but it just feels like we're too good to have 0 completions in the second half. I know we won the game. It's like all the people who say, we're 4-0, Zander, shut the F up. I'm like, I know. What are you, Captain Obvious over here? I also don't think we need to have 0 completions in the second half. I don't think you should clam up. I think you can still play your brand of football while being conservative enough to conserve the lead. That was my only problem with the game today. I don't like allowing that team to get back in the game because I feel like that's what the Eagles did. Now, hey, maybe you point to it's only execution. I don't know. Maybe that's fair, but I don't know how from first half you execute 15-16. Second half you can't complete a 2-yard route. I mean, I don't know what happened, but that was my only problem with the game today. I don't like to see 0 completions in the second half. I mean, you have 3 and outs. Anybody that watches football, no, 3 and outs is brutal for your defense. I mean, 1 3 and out is brutal for your defense. 1 3 and out is brutal for your defense. You're talking about 5 straight 3 and outs in the second half. We're lucky we got a young, healthy defense, you know, because, hey, they deserve a big tip of the cap. That's probably the biggest disagreement I have with Dan right now is the defense. The defense is great. I think this defense is way ahead of schedule. I think this defense is in position to be one of the best defenses in football by the end of the year. Now, they're not there yet, but, I mean, shoot. I know Jahad Campbell got beat, but do you see the plays he's making? I know Makuba got beat, but, again, he still looks like he's going to be a good safety in this league. You got Cooper and Quinyon. How about Quinyon Mitchell? Quinyon Mitchell is a beast. I mean, I bring up Quinyon. This is where sometimes you guys got to realize I'm in the middle of 2 curmudgeons. I mean, I bring up Quinyon Mitchell. This guy's clamping receivers left and right. I bring up Quinyon Mitchell, and John's like, there could have been 3 pass interferences on Quinyon Mitchell today. I'm like, what? Quinyon played great. You know, but again, I'm between curmudgeon 1 and curmudgeon 2. All right. Ishan says, nah, Zander, you acted like a Cilio Glazer. No, I didn't, Ishan. Cilio and me disagreed the entire show today. Ishan, you might want to rewind and re-listen. All right. I said 0 completions in the second half is a brutal way to win a football game, even if you win. That's what I said. Cilio didn't agree because we're 4-0. It is what it is. You know, it is what it is. I'll get to some super chats. I want to thank everybody for being here. I'll start back at the beginning. Leon, what's up, Leon? Defense was gassed because offense, Kansas. That was the very first super chat we got on the show at 4:25 p.m. an hour and 50 minutes ago. That was the first super chat we got on the show. Leon, good to know I wasn't the only one who thought that. John and Cilio made me sound like I was nuts. And then Dank, who I love. Dank, you know, me and Dank are boys in the chat, but holy shit, Dank, did you have some dumb takes today? Oh, my goodness, Dank, did you have some brutal takes today? And my boy Dabney. You know, Dabney's one of the funniest guys in the world because I've never had a show on JAKIB, and I've now been doing them for well over a year, almost 2 years now. I've never had a show on JAKIB where Dabney didn't comment, the Philly media is the worst. But Dabney's here every day to listen to us. Dabney, I love you. You had some shit takes today too, my friend. All right, Leon, good take. All right, here's Matthew Newhart. What's up, Matthew? Eagles now split versus Denver and Minnesota and beat a neighborless Giants, and they're 7-1 going into bye, and then Green Bay. I don't think we're splitting Denver and Minnesota. Did you see Minnesota today? Did you catch that game in the morning? That offensive line is putrid. They're not stopping Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter. No way. And Denver, I'm an Alabama guy. I'm not a Bo Nix believer. Okay. Shout out to Roll Tide. How about that? Anybody, any Crimson Tide fans in the chat? Come on, we always got a Crimson Tide fan in the chat. How about them Crimson Tide yesterday? Beat the piss out of Georgia. That game wasn't as close as they made it look. Also, Ty Simpson. Whoo! That dude's got an arm, man. Joe, I wore this polo. I was hoping you would comment. Nobody knew what it was. I'm like, the only guy who will know what this is might be Joe Whipp. Might be Joe Whipp. There's DS. Roll Tide, baby. A big W. Kalen DeBoer needed that W. And yes, Ryan Grubb and JD3. I'm going to give credit to Kane Womack because I thought he had an excellent game defensively. I know it wasn't perfect. You know, I know he had that blown coverage. There was a couple plays there, but overall, I thought both coordinators for Alabama had a great game plan. Excellent, excellent game plan, I thought, all around. Great day of college football. Great day of college football. Here's JD3. All-pro Ringo with 4 missed tackles and a pass interference. We have 3 dudes playing cornerback 2 that should be special teamers. I'm sorry. I didn't think Ringo was a problem there. I mean, yes, he had missed tackles, but JD3, also, he hasn't played football yet this year. You know, and by the way, JD3, look around the league, dude. Corners don't make tackles at left and right. Quinyon Mitchell's a rare breed, and Cooper DeJean's a rare breed when it comes to tackling. I mean, you see some of the best cornerbacks in football who can't tackle. Darius Slay last year. I love Slay. He was a great cornerback for this team. In fact, there's been times where we all probably think we need Slay back. But he sucked at tackling. It's just kind of one of those things. I mean, I think Ringo will get better at it because he's at least physical. You know, he at least uses his body. He's not afraid to hit. So I don't agree at all with Ringo hate today. I think Ringo is fine. No issue with Ringo today. I'm actually team Pumper, team Daz on that today. Jason 18, what's up, Jason? Mitchell is a beast, but way too much holding. He was luckily getting away with it. Ringo did it once and everyone cried, but Mitchell did it all game. Oh, Jason, go join the corner with John McMullen. Daz, I think I got that one. Philip, what's up, Philip? We need an edge badly. Yeah, we do. Those edge rushers are not doing it. Brian Pump said, you dudes nitpicking with Ringo. He was solid. Cooked that bum Reed Blankenship. He was cooked. That's funny, Brian Pumper. I'm with you on Ringo, though. No issue today. Philly's fine and says, do you think Hurts had a concussion? I saw that hit. I mean, you know, my boy Dirty Air was down at the game today. He texted me. He thought that hit was a tough one on Jalen. I don't know. It's tough to speculate that. But that was a big hit. Christopher Michael, what's up, Christopher? Vic and the D won this. Kevin Patullo and Nick suck. I don't care what anyone says. 20-1. This isn't sustainable. KC skated by last year and got blown out in the Super Bowl. F. Yeah, I'm not quite to your level, Christopher, but I do think second half, like this is where I disagree with people. And John's like, well, it's the circumstance. It's the personality of the game. I'm like, 0 completions in the second half. You got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, and you're telling me 0 completions in the second half? I don't give a shit if you're winning by 50. I don't care if you're winning by 50. 0 completions in the second half? Again, that was my only problem with the game today. I thought we gave the Bucs more life than they needed to have. I thought we gave them more life than they needed to have. 5 straight 3-and-outs. 0 completions in the second half. Offensively, we were a 0-zip zilch in the second half. You know, that's why the Bucs got back into it. It's not the big plays. It's because we couldn't stay on the field. The defense lived on the field. I mean, you know, Silly was criticizing the defense. I felt like saying, yeah, you were a DT. How would you be playing after 5 straight 3-and-outs by your offense? It's tough. That's tough to do, man. These are big dudes. Man. That's a tough thing to do. Fly Eagles, fly. What's up, Fly Eagles? She says they threw us to the wolves with these 4 games, and we came out wearing a fur coat. What a line. Fly Eagles, I can picture Jalen Hurts saying that at the press conference on Tuesday or whatever he speaks. Wednesday. Fly Eagles, fly. I can picture Jalen saying that now. They threw us to the wolves, and we came out in a fur coat. Winning is the only thing that matters. What a great comment. This is the best super chat we've got so far. Wasn't pretty, but there's time to make it pretty. Go Birds. Great super chat. I love it, Fly Eagles, fly. Great stuff. Almighty Lambo says, first half had me thinking we may go undefeated. Second half had me calling for Sirianni to get shit canned. Almighty Lambo, while a different feeling, I felt the same way. All right. I didn't want Sirianni to get shit canned, but I'm like, whoa. What happened? What happened? You know? I don't know, but apparently I'm nuts for that. You should have seen the comments in the first hour. I'm like, holy crap. Eagles fans are so mad at me for saying, did we need to have 0 completions in the second half? And again, none of you has said anything that would convince me that I'm wrong about that. 0 completions in the second half is egregious. Philadelphia. Zander said, I don't care about the win, but what's up with the target? That's not what I said, Philadelphia. Yo, Philadelphia, clean them ears out. You got wax seeping out of them. You got wax. It's oozing out of your ears. Are you listening, Killa? Are you listening, Killa? Or are you waiting to make a point in the chat with 48 emojis? Come on, Killa. That's not what I said. I said the offense never needs to get to a point where you have 0 completions in the second half because it allowed the Bucs to get back in the game. It allowed the Bucs to get back in the football game. We don't got to play that way, Killa. All right? He says, I'm just joking. I know, Killa. I love you, brother. I know. I love you, brother. Here's Dank. Thanks must be mad at me. So what now? What, Zander? I don't know what you mean, Dank. I don't know what you're talking about, Dank. All I know, Dank, is you had some shitty takes today, Dank. Holy mackerel, Dank. Let's keep rolling. Here's EZLN. John, please ask Petula what the F his problem is. Great super. Cheapskate Coin says, I put money on it. Nakobe will play next week. I don't know, dude. Jahad Campbell's a beast. Jahad Campbell's a beast, man. Jahad Campbell's a beast. I'm sorry. I think he's going to be an excellent player. I am not worried at all that he got beaten coverage. Dude, he got beaten coverage 40 yards downfield, 30 yards downfield on the sideline. Find me a single linebacker in football, including Zach Bond and including Fred Warner and including Roquan Smith and including Levante David, including any of your favorite linebackers. Find me one that would be able to stick with that. That was a better play by Baker Mayfield than it was a bad play by Jahad Campbell. I don't think that was a bad play by Jahad Campbell. I really don't. Here's Dank. I'll follow up because Dank knows I love him. But me, sometimes hey, Dank, it's called love. Sometimes you fight with each other. He says we had 0 completion in the second half. Now what happens next? Dank, I'm going to make a bold prediction here. We win. We just keep winning, Dank. I don't know, man. That's it. We just keep winning, brother. We just keep winning. I know, you're right. It's week to week. Zander Jahad is injured. He could barely walk. I didn't see that, Deshae. I'll check that out. Hopefully he's all right. I really like Jahad Campbell, though. Obviously, roll tide. Cheapskate says, I'd put money. Oh, I already got that one. Jay the Legend says, what the F Sills talking about? Ringo was solid. I agree. I thought he was fine today. No issue. Here's Big Marsh. Reed effing stinks. Makuba is not ready. Those 2 big plays were busted coverages by the safeties. Get CJ on the phone now. I don't know, Big Marsh. I'm not out on Makuba yet. I don't really know what happened to him on that play. He really looked like he was way out of position there. I don't know if it's kind of this classic thing. Sometimes you turn around and you lose where you are, or you kind of, you lose track of the field or whatever. Maybe it was one of those things. I'm not really sure. He was clearly out of it there, but he's a rookie. You're going to have some of those plays. I don't think I've seen anything with Makuba where I'm like, oh, he's not ready to play in the NFL yet. There's been moments he's got to improve, but that's true of any rookie. Now, Reed Blankenship, yeah, we got a problem there. Brody Brandel. What's up, Brody? Both AJ and Lane declined any postgame comments. Uh-oh. Josh Herman says, in 23, Sills was telling us we're frauds and we were 10-0. Now Sills has done a 180 and said, well, I mean, hey, they're winning. Come on, Sills. Well, the team has earned that right. They have, Josh. Here's Bill. What's up, Bill? Patchouli got away from everything that worked in the first half. That's not adjusting. You mean Patula, but Bill, I agree with you. Here's JD3. What's up, JD? The mindset of being overly conservative when you have a big lead is outdated. It costs teams every week and almost caught us today. I agree, JD, unfortunately. Brian Pump says, feels like Keely can't win with this casual fan base. Play solid and these dudes crying. Brother, have you seen Special Ed Reed Blankenship? Brian, I agree with you. I have no problem with Keely Ringo today. 0. Khaled says, Ringo blows. Don't agree. Brian Pump again. We got A.J. Brown reevaluating life on Twitter playing football with Jay Hurts. SMH, we losing an incredible talent. SMH. I will say, I don't know what A.J. Brown's tweet means. Has he tweeted anything else? Oh, no. A.J. just put up another tweet. Oh, man. AJ just put up another tweet. Oh, let me pull it up. We'll get some instant reaction here on JAKIB Sports. Uh-oh. This is what AJ Brown has tweeted, everybody. He tweets out this photo, and the photo is from Mark 6. If you're not welcomed, not listened to, quietly withdraw. Don't make a scene, shrug your shoulders, and be on your way. That is AJ Brown's latest tweet from his official Twitter account at 6:02 p.m. 13 minutes ago. That is AJ Brown's Twitter. After he tweeted earlier, I love y'all with all my heart, which I did absolutely retweet. I don't know. AJ ain't happy. Dank says, is this the View or football? Dank, I don't know. Ask AJ Brown, brother. Ask AJ Brown. I don't know, man. He's tweeting. He ain't happy. Here's Orbit Moon. Zander, what's your thoughts on KP? At some point, we got to hold the players accountable. I don't really think KP's been that bad. I think he's being told largely what to do in terms of different circumstances, where they said all week aggressive, and then they come out aggressive, and then they get a lead, and they come out, and they're like, it's almost like the first half of the Eagles' offense, just like they didn't exist anymore. I don't think that's the way it's got to be. So I don't know. I'm not really that. I don't think it's all Patullo, but I also don't know if I think he's got some training wheels on still. Here's Hale. What's up, Hale? Hale, sorry for not getting your super, brother. I always try to. I explained to you at the start why I didn't get to it with the guys. Sorry, brother. Sue let it slip on UK TV coverage. He's taking calls to bring him in from one of the teams tonight. Called the Eagles "we" a number of times. Oh, so you're saying that Sue could be coming back. That'd be interesting. MJ says, that's fair. Can't expect Campbell to cover forever. Yeah, I agree. 30 yards up the field as a linebacker, dude. On Bucky Irving. That was pretty. In fact, MJ, I'd go as far as to say that was pretty impressive from Jahad Campbell. Here's Paul Barbarian. What's up, Paul? My favorite last name is probably this, Barbarian. Or I don't know if I say it right. Barbarian? I just like Paul Barbarian. Sick. The defense last year was not good through week 4. Correct. Ishad. What up, Ishad? Another one today. Ishad, I sent you to the corner. Still a liar's month, Sills. Go Birds. Good point. Here's Dank. What's up, Dank? These fools want a new OC every year just to cry about our passing game. How about some continuity? I agree, Dank. Can't just keep firing them. Fire, hire. Fire or hired. One or the other. You know, in a way, there's a silver lining here. If Kevin Patullo blows and the Eagles win a Super Bowl, maybe we'll get a second year of an offensive coordinator. How beautiful would that be? Last time that happened, Jalen Hurts is second in the MVP voting. Paul says, ironically, Tampa's old coach, John McKay, once famously said when asked about his team's execution, I'm in favor of it. I'm not sure what you mean there. Here's JD3. The fire KP crowd is crazy. Dude has called 4 games in his life. You think McVay had an elite first 4 games as a play caller? No, I do not. Mad Dio, what's up? EAGLES Eagles. Go 2-time Super Bowl champion, effing Birds. Dio, you sound like Dabney. You sound like Dabney. We'll start putting together 4 quarters in week 13 amid a belt-to-ass to championship. We'll see. Brian Pump says, a lot of dudes in here owe Keely Ringo an apology. Best game from a cornerback 2 this season. That's true. Here's KJ Stay Dolo. What's up, KJ? Don't overglaze, Xander. I don't know. KJ, don't tell me what to do. I agree with John earlier. I like the way Mitchell played, but he got away with some hand checking. He needs to tighten up. Hey, KJ, don't tell me what to do. Give your opinion and move forward. What do you do? Don't do this, Xander. Start your own channel and speak however you want to speak. You want to be here and drop me a $5 super chat? I'll read it. I'll thank you for it. Don't tell me what to do. Theo says, boo Tide. Yeah, well, they beat Georgia yesterday, so Tide can laugh their way all the way to the bank into the college football playoffs. All right? All right, everybody, that's the super chats. Good super chats today. Good super chats today. Look, the Birds are 4-0. What are we thinking of A.J. Brown's tweet? Look at that thing. If you're not welcome, not listened to, quietly withdraw. Don't make a scene. Shrug your shoulders and be on your way. Is A.J. Brown saying he wants to be on his way? He's gonna delete this for sure once Big Dom calls him. Big Dom's gonna be like, yo, AJ, can you delete those? And AJ will be like, sure, Dom, sure. You know, what is AJ worth in 25? Well, in this offense, I don't know. You could argue that. I think he's still one of the best receivers in football. All right, here's Anton, the optimistic Aussie. I don't care about AJ's tweets, Big Z. It means nothing to me. Hey, well, Anton's, I say the optimistic Aussie. He's honestly right, because last time AJ was bitching, we went on and won a Super Bowl, so might not matter. But, Anton, I think eventually the pressure in the pipe will burst, though. You know what I mean? Like, your best player on offense isn't happy. You could probably make an argument he's the best player on the football team. And they almost act like they don't have him. Again, I will say my overall feeling here on a postgame show, and it'll evolve, it'll change. It always happens. It's postgame now. We'll have the week this week. Our thoughts, our opinions, all of us will change. They will evolve as the week goes forward. But I don't know how you have 0 completions in the second half, and AJ, to his credit, probably believes that they can be better than that. I always get a kick out of people who get mad at like the media for wanting them to be better. But at the end of the day, the people who want to be better more than the media are the players themselves. Are Jalen, are AJ, are the coaches, are these guys. I mean, if you're not trying to get better in life, in football, on offense, on defense, as a man, as a brother, as a daughter, as a sister, as a mother, as a brother, as a son, as a father, whatever you are, whatever your most important label is in life, business owner, if you're not trying to get better, no matter how good you are, then you're on your way down. If you're not getting better, then you're slowly dying. So I don't really have an issue with AJ's tweets, but it is a little cryptic. It's obviously something a little goofy. But I'm also fine, Anton, if you don't have a problem with them. All right. Curtis says, Zander, the Birds showed a willingness to change it up first half. The defense played great besides 2 plays. We are 4-0. I'm feeling optimistic. All right, Curtis, I like that. But Curtis, I think this defense is way ahead of schedule. I don't agree with Cilio at all. I think this defense is in good shape. But at the end of the day, like I just don't get how. I know they said execution. I get it. Jalen said that's the common word that people use. But you're telling me we executed to the tune of 0 completions? 5 straight 3-and-outs? Like, dude, if not for this defense, we don't win this football game. So I just again, I think people go to these extremes, and I know John prides himself on not being that guy, but I'm sorry, he went to the extremes today. He did. He kept going to the extremes. They're playing conservative. It's the style of the game. Like, dude, there's no style of any game where you have 0 completions in an entire half of football with probably the best duo of receivers in the league. Like, am I crazy? Everybody in the chat, am I crazy? Am I crazy for being upset that we had 0 completions in the second half, even with a win? Am I crazy? Yes or no? Am I crazy? Like my boy Dabney said, I can take it. Bring the heat. Lee Nguyen says, yes, you're crazy. Joe says no. Z, you're not. Shonef says no. The Water says, I'm livid about this shit offense. Shine says, yes, you're crazy. We won. All right, Shine. I respect it. Boda says, but here's Boda. What up, Boda? He says, a little. The line is hurt really bad. Yeah, the line doesn't look too good. No. Zander running. Here's Big Mike. What's up, Big Mike? Good to see you, brother. He says, Zander, running inside zone 4 to 5 times in the second half, inside 8 and 9-man boxes is ludicrous. Yeah, that's John kind of alluded to that when he talked about the running game. He's like, the running game offense has a lot less plays than the passing game. Yeah. So Anton says yes and no. No, because we won. Yes, because we took our foot off the gas and let them back in the game. No, Anton. No. Taking your foot off the gas is a small offensive output. Having 0 completions and 5 straight 3-and-outs is a complete and utter offensive failure, which almost feels like, where's Dank? Dank said it. Where's Dank? Here's Dank. Where is he? Wow, that was good snapping. I can't snap. I've never been able to snap. I got some actual noise there, folks. Dank says we didn't execute is the point. And I do agree to like a certain extent you didn't execute, but how do you not execute to the tune of 0 completions? Like that sounds almost impossible to me. Like throw a screen. Dude, throw a jet sweep and pitch it and get the completion register. Like, I don't know. 0 is insane to me. But I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, we did. We had the good field position, though, there, Anton. That's where we had the good field position. That was our only touchdown in the second half. That was when the was that the Cooper? No, that was was that the fumble? Yeah, because Jahad Campbell's pick was in the end zone. That was the fumble. That was the Bucky Irving fumble that Jahad Campbell forced, by the way. Jahad Campbell's a beast. Jahad Campbell's a freaking beast. All right. Jahad Campbell is an absolute beast. Here's Prince. What up, Prince? Yo, Prince, where you been? You know, whenever Prince is gone for a couple days, I notice. I love Prince. Let's see what he's got to say to that. He says, I'm all about improving, but the crying is annoying like these fans. Sills doesn't watch the game, LOL. The defense played their ass off. Ask Bucky about the defense. Dude had to work for those yards. Prince, I agree about the defense overall. I don't think it's crying, Prince. I'm not crying at all. We're 4-0. I don't care. I got a job to do, Prince. Just like whatever you do that pays your bills, you go and you do it. You know, I got a job to do. My job is to talk about football and create a channel that reaches an audience of people. The audience of people watching is ultimately the reason that how I put food on the table. That's what I got to do. Unfortunately, for all of you guys, I can't make a 2-hour, 3-hour postgame show on saying, hey, everything looked good. We're 4-0. Woo! Good job, team. Go team. Woo! You got things to talk about. You talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. That's what you do. You know, it's what you do. I hear you there, Prince. Brian Fleming says you can't trade AJ this year. It's $90 million. Wrong, Brian. Go look it again. Look, post June 6th trade, Brian. But they're not trading him anyway, so I don't care. I'm just telling you the $90 million number is wrong. That was pre-June 6th, Brian. Here's Dio. What's up, Dio? We are going to be really spoiled if Campbell asks Bakuba keep current trajectory with Carter, Davis, Bond, and Q. No holes, D. Deuces back by week 9. I agree, Dio. And defense is way ahead of schedule. Leon said, did you see AJ's cryptic post just now? We did, Leon. We brought it up here. Here it is again before he deletes it. If you're not welcome, not listened to, quietly withdraw. Don't make a scene, shrug your shoulders, and be on your way. And then he also tweeted out earlier, I love y'all with all my heart. I love A.J. Brown. I hope they use him more. I think he's a great receiver, man. I really do. I think he's a great receiver. I think he's a great football player. He's one of the best receivers we've ever had. But it is what it is at this point. It is what it is. Here's Paul, who brings a practical thought process. You're paying A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith about $50 million a year combined for below average production. Unfortunate truth. You know, when these defensive contracts come up and we lose some players or we make some moves, you know, you guys got to think about this. JD3 says he's on pace for like 650 yards. It's understandable why he's upset. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, as a talk show host, I'll give you guys some inside baseball. As a talk show host, I appreciate him going to Twitter because it gives us stuff to talk about. Look, that's what I do. I just got done telling you guys that's my job. It's what I do. It's how I make money. All right. As an Eagle fan, I wish you didn't go to Twitter about it. You know, I get it. Some part of me feels like maybe he feels like he's being muted, being silenced. You know, he's not being heard, and maybe that's why he tweeted what he tweeted. So maybe his only avenue to get heard is to go to social media. Maybe that's what it is. But Prince, you got to, Prince, you're going to have to tip your cap to Frank. This is pretty funny. Prince talks about crying, and he paid for a super chat to cry about the crying. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Brian, I actually thought it was $26 million post June 1. Let me pull that up real quick for us. I have Spot Track Premium. Again, we're not trading A.J. Brown. I don't want to trade A.J. Brown. It shouldn't even be something that's talked about. But it is something to talk about because of his tweets. It is. It's just he's making it a reality. Part of me thinks he wants to, but let's see. Let's pull it up here. You go to A.J. Brown. You're on his contract. Here's 2025. Okay, click to cut. Post 6-1 trade. Here's the numbers right there. 2026 dead cap, 25 dead cap, it's 10 mil. Now, if you release them, you have much bigger numbers. But this is the year 2025. And you click to cut, that's what you see. Now, hey, maybe SpotTrack's wrong. I'm not sure, but it's not 46 million or 90 million. You could see 90 million was the pre-June 1 release. So I don't know. I mean, it doesn't look like it's that much. Again, I don't want to get rid of A.J. Brown. Don't take that the wrong way. Just looking at the numbers, just trying to get the numbers right for everybody. Paul Mancini says self-motivation seems to be lacking. Motivation is not the right thing to build a life on or an offense on or anybody in their life if they want advice. Don't build it on motivation. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline is what you need to deliver day in and day out. Discipline over motivation. Motivation comes and goes. One day you wake up and you want to conquer the earth and you want to read emotional quotes or motivational quotes and you feel like you're going to go and get it all. Discipline is what keeps you going. But to your point about the Eagles offense, I'm not sure what they're doing right now. Here's Twizzler. I'm sure Twizzler's crying. Twizzler has become Twizzler. I hate that. You're like M. Reyes now, dude. Twizzler and M. Reyes sitting in a tree. These two are the same. These two are the same. Twizzler. Twiz, you're 1-0 in the Coop jersey. I assume you wore it today. Here's Andres. Love AJ, but I'm about done with the dude complaining. Yeah, as an Eagle fan, I feel you. As a content creator, I'm good with it. Curtis says, Zander, I love AJ, and I don't blame him at all, but it might be time to trade him for a cornerback 2 or edge before it grows into a bigger problem. I like Smith, Dotson, Mechie, okay. Well, with the way they use the passing game, I mean, you're not wrong, but we're not trading him, man. You don't do that. Great teams don't blow up an offense because of one or a couple bad weeks. It's like the thing I just said with motivation. You got a backbone. You have a structure. You have a foundation that the team is built on. When the branches sway, you don't just abandon the foundation. Now, I hear you. In the offseason, these are real conversations. But to say right now to get rid of A.J. Brown, that's an abandonment of the concrete foundation you've laid for the season. You don't abandon that. It's a losing strategy. That's like trying to plant a new tree. You don't want to do that. I don't think. But Kurt, I hear you. But let's talk about it in the offseason. I don't think it's something right now. You can clearly see though AJ's not happy. All right. You clearly can see that AJ's not happy. So. Here's Curtis. Again, I hear you, Z, but how much can AJ put up with before he becomes a drama queen everyone pretends he is? Yeah, I mean, hey. You're not wrong, Curtis. I mean, look, those are real variables as well, right? Well, I believe what I said to you. I'm not going to dismiss what you're saying, Curtis, as things that don't, things that don't matter. Valencia, let's stay right here. He says, I'm scared for drama. Hey, look, right here, right now. All right, one day at a time. Let's keep doing what we got to do to be successful day in and day out. The end result will be what it's going to be, I caught myself doing that. I was looking at the numbers. I was reading you guys the numbers on JAKIB Sports in September. I was pumped. We got good numbers in September, and I'm thinking, what can I do this season? How will it compare to last season? Am I going to be able to reach this goal or this threshold? And then I'm like, wait a second, Zander. Quit worrying about that bullshit. If you do everything each day, and deliver the goods each day, all those days will add up and equal the end result you're looking for. But if you set this end result and you strive for that, that's where motivation comes into play. That's where the things that are come and go and are fleeting come into play. Do what you got to do each and every single day. Be right here, right now. Control what you can control. Control what you can control. So, all right, everybody, it's time for the post-game show. Let me take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we'll get some great people from JAKIB Nation. I only have about 40 minutes. I got till about 7, 7:15 Eastern tonight. I got a lot of things to do, folks. All right. I love all you guys. Thank you for being here. All right. Hit the like button. We're going to take a quick commercial break. And for anybody, by the way, who hates my commentary today, for anybody who says that I'm stupid and I'm a numbnuts for wanting more than 0 completions in the second half, you're more than welcome to join the show and talk to me about it. All right. You're more than welcome to join the show and talk to me about it. I don't shy away from any of you. All right. I'd love to hear from you. If some of you want to push back, tell me why I'm wrong, I will listen to you. Doesn't mean I'll agree with you, but I'll listen to you. All right. So I appreciate all of you guys. We'll take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, the post-game show coming up next.